So anyways, here we are. I want to, I really just want to welcome you, invite you to make yourself at home. I want to invite you to buy lots and lots and lots of guitars, and a special invitation from me.
Because that way we get to keep building them.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's talk about the GO for a minute. As you know, Andy's come on board. You've heard me write about him. I'll tell you right here, right now, I think Andy's the best guitar builder I've ever met. He's a better guitar builder than I am. And Taylor Guitars is in store for many good years as he continues to develop our guitars. He's making them better than they ever were. Andy's an incredible player. He knows the difference between the tone of a great guitar and a really, really great guitar. And I believe that that's really a key factor, plus he's incredibly talented in knowing what to do. The GO is Andy's guitar from the ground up. We took our jumbo that we'd made for years, which we kind of, you know, you could see it sort of had that Gibson Guild type of influence. We started making that guitar back in the 70s when I first started. We thought it would be nice to make a new big guitar, a new jumbo style guitar that was really more in the vein of the Taylor shapes and the Taylor aesthetics. And so Andy started drawing on a piece of paper, and I'm going to let him tell you the story about that guitar and what his goal was.
Well, basically, I'd been hot rodding some of our old jumbo guitars for a few artist friends, and you know, we kind of just turbocharge them a little bit, do some different mods and things, and then at a certain point, we just stopped and went, okay, wait a minute. We don't have to be bound by anybody's tradition. This was a guitar that, well, we inherited the shape. We could make something totally new, something that's ours if we wanted to. So if we just started completely afresh, what would a big guitar be? What would we want it to be? So literally we took out a piece of fresh paper and a ruler and a pencil and said, okay, a big guitar, it's going to be this big. And then I just started drawing curves until they turned into curves I knew they would sound good. As well, I've been developing a lot of different bracing ideas, some new construction methods and concepts, and we combined all of those new influences into this guitar. So what we end up with is a completely new, fresh original for us that's really, it's in the same family as the rest of our shapes. It has those strong family ties. You can see it in the upper bout curves, all of those influence. But what's really rewarding and really fun for me as a player is this is one of the first genuinely big body guitars that has a really uniform linear character over its entire register. So I can play the high notes and they have just this huge, massive power, and there's no weird dead spots, there's no hot notes. The whole thing is a really even linear kind of response. As well, you still have the tremendous power and that carrying projection of a big guitar. So it's something really new. We're really excited about it, and you know, I'm real anxious to see how the players respond to this, because it's a guitar that it's a real expressive voice to even someone with a light fingerstyle touch. Now you can hit it real hard; it sounds great for that, but it's something it just has this extra thing going for it that I don't usually see in a big guitar. So it's something we're really proud of, and you know, like I said, I'm excited to see how players respond to it and what it does.
I just had a thought. It might put you on the spot a little bit, but I wondered if you might wanted to sit on a stool and play the guitar for a minute with a microphone. Could you guys just put a mic on the guitar and we grab a GS and Andy could just play it for some people? I mean a GO, I'm sorry. We'll get a stool up here, we'll get a mic on.
We've got an amplifier, that's close enough.
Oh, an amplifier would be good. Often I come in the mornings, and my office is right here, and right across the hall we have this room where we bring guitars that we're working on. And lots of days during the week, Andy comes to work, and he goes in there and plays guitar for like 45 minutes. And I just listen to it. I'm like, there is a God. After 40 years of building guitar, I sit there and answer emails and listen to Andy play in the other room. It's pretty amazing.
More, one more.
Why don't you just kind of explain the registers of it?
Well, basically, what kind of as a function of the bracing and the way this guitar is designed, the top and the back are meant to move more like a speaker cone. Instead of building in like a real uneven, real kind of chaotic top motion that's you're apt to get with a top of this size, I braced it and designed it in a way that the whole thing wants to have this real kind of uniform motion. As well, it's a real low mass bracing, so it's set in motion real easily. So even with a real light touch, I get this big kind of response.
Beautiful. Thank you, Andy. So please take your time to look at the Grand Orchestra while you're here and take a good look. Have you guys all heard the story of Andy, who he is and what he's doing for us? Want me to tell you a really good story? Okay. So I'm getting older. I'm gonna die one day. And I want Taylor Guitars to continue on beyond me. And 5 years ago, I thought I need someone to take over for me. So here's what I did. Dear God, I need one guitar maker who's a pro player, who's a really nice person, who's a better guitar maker than me, who's self-taught, didn't learn it from me, learned it all by himself, who's been building guitars for 20 years and is less than 30 years old. And I guarantee you, I promise, that I wrote that down. And I said, and he needs to be from San Diego. And 3 years ago, Jason Mraz played, was it 3? 4?
Something like that.
3 or 4 years ago, Jason Mraz played here on our stage, and Andy was playing guitar for him. And I re-met Andy because we'd met when he was 17 years old. Andy's dad was there, and I went and was talking to Andy while him and Jason were warming up. And his dad, and I go, oh, you're Andy Powers. Yeah, I've heard your name. You make those arch tops up in Oceanside. And Andy's dad said, well, you know, Andy met you when he was 17 years old. We went to a concert and sat behind you, and he was making ukuleles, and he bothered you through the whole concert asking you questions about making ukuleles. And I go, I remember that kid, you know, hey. And I went home and I thought, I got to get together with Andy sometime. And I have another young guitar making friend named Pepe Romero who lives in Oceanside, and Andy lived in Oceanside, and they're both the same age, and they both surf every morning, and they're both newly married, and they both have their first kids, and I'm thinking they really do have to meet each other and become friends. So I put together a little matchmaking date to make to get Andy to know Pepe, and I thought
yeah, we call those a mandate.
A mandate, yeah. I had a mandate, and we each brought a guitar. And then I was driving to work 3 days later, and I thought about Andy, and I sat at the stoplight, and I went check, 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 check. He started building when he was 8 years old, by the way, and he was 28 that year, so I got the 20 years. Check, check, check. He makes the best ukuleles you've ever heard in your life. His arch tops are better than any I've ever played. His ability to make steel string guitars, classical guitars, you can hear how he plays. He knows what a guitar sounds like. He's a pro player. He can play with anybody, anytime. You'll probably see him on stage a few times this time. And so I called up Andy and I said, you know what, I think there's a plan for your life. And I thanked his dad for raising my son, you know. I come up, thank you, Chuck, for raising my son. I'll take it now. And so Andy joined Taylor Guitars. And we have a really great future because our guitars are getting better. They'll continue to get better. I promise you we're not going to turn into a corporation that forgot how to build guitars. And you're looking at the reason right here. Okay, so get to know him. You're going to hear a lot about him. It's a really good thing. So enjoy the show, everybody. Welcome. And we're around. Have a great time. Thank you for coming.